How are you doing? Welcome to another episode of Timber Talk Time. I'm your host, Jonathan Timber, and I'm grateful to still be doing it. And I say that like I've been doing it for a long time, but I'm just grateful that I'm still doing this because honestly, I thought I was going to quit by now. Because I thought I was going to get frustrated and be like, whatever, this is dumb. But it's not, because it's so rewarding. It's so much fun, and yeah, we're just getting started. I keep saying it, but I'm gonna keep saying it. So today's podcast is about the healing power of music. Music saved my life. Straight up. Music has continuously, anytime that it was as low as it could get, or it looked like the plane was gonna crash, I was able to pull it up because of music. And I know I'm not the only one. Music's a lifesaver. So today we're gonna go through its healing powers, my personal experiences in it, how it works at a scientific level. I'm not going to delve too much into that because that's what Neil deGrasse Tyson is for. And whenever that day comes, we'll do a podcast together and we'll talk about the science of music. Just put that into the universe, right? Therapy of music, and the social connection of music and how that heals. So, yeah. Music is healing. I need some music right now to heal me. Music saved my life so many times. One of the instances was there's this band called Vacationer, Vacacion. You should check them out. And when I stumbled upon them, thanks to my good friend Mr. Oh no, this is not happening now. Mr. Mark Brown, wonderful sound man, talented musician himself also. But yeah, Mark had showed me this band called Vacationer, and at the time it pulled me out of the deepest, darkest depression. Like when I say, I mean, maybe it was the drugs, but also, yeah, I was just in a dark place, and their music was just so happy. And yeah, it just brought me out of a deep depression, and it brought color to my life. And ever since then, I've been obsessed with having color and light and brightness in my life. That being a foundation of everything that I do. And to be able to share that music with people, like to have a moment of darkness and to pull through it, and to have like a piece of medicine and say, oh, this is what helped me. Hey, if you try this, it might help you too. And I've seen it work. I haven't yawned all day. The entire day I've been going like a madman, and I have not yawned once. And now I sit down. That's why I sat down. I'm gonna start doing stand-up podcast. But yeah, and to share that moment, to share the music with people, and share, and knowing that like it's lifting people up is a beautiful feeling. And I've personally tried to inject that in everything that I do musically, because I know the importance of it. I've seen it firsthand with so many people. I mean, music is so emotional, and it brings people to tears, it brings people to happiness, it brings people to rage. There's a time and place for music. Whatever you're thinking of musically, however you're feeling, there's a piece of music that's going to be able to fit right into place for you, and that's comforting. Like yawns, I'm gonna edit that out too. Actually, we're gonna keep all the yawns in, and then we're gonna do a yawn track at the very end. But yeah, so I was fortunate enough to get to go experience Vacationer live, and like to go to a show and be in a room with people you don't know and see everyone in the room reacting and feeling the way you feel. Let's have a moment for that. It's just, that's the best. It's to look around a room and see people you don't even know, and see, like, to see in each other's eyes that, man, this is like, what's up? I wanted to take this time to quickly promote the House of Fools show on September 13th at the Flatiron here in Greensboro, North Carolina. Make sure you go ahead and get your tickets, because I promise you it'll sell out. You don't want to miss it. Go ahead and get your tickets. Of course, I'll be putting details in the description and all over my Instagram. Also, make sure you follow the Flatiron for the latest shows. And yeah, so go ahead and get your tickets. Can't wait to see you there. All right, so I'm gonna hopefully not yawn a lot. So yeah, I was talking about Vacationer and how they were a band for me, one of the many bands that pulled me out of depressions or low points, but it healed me. It gave me hope. And I know music does that for people, and that's why it kind of blows my mind as to why there's so much, like, there seems to be such a, everyone needs music, but it's like, oh, it's just another musician. You're a musician? Oh, you're not serious. You know what I mean? Like, as if it's not something that we pour our hearts into for the betterment of the world. But that's neither here nor there. I guess not try to take that credit. That's not for us. It's not for us as musicians to try to take that type of credit. But man, the human side of me be like, man, I did this with my heart. You feel that? Yeah. Another thing in the healing of music is the scientific level of it. Like, to think of how scientists have done research to see the Mozart effect, that your cognitive abilities are heightened whenever you're listening to Mozart. I know that to be true because I dabble in some myself. Little Mozart. It's my homie. Sick mixes of Mozart. No, I don't have any sick mixes of Mozart. But something about classical music itself, just like, it makes you feel different too. Like, music will make you feel different, and in that healing, there's that property. You know what I mean? Like, a beautiful classical piece that's all major chord, it's just major, makes you feel better. You can't, unless you like to feel bad when you listen to happy stuff, which is beautiful in the juxtaposition of that. But if I hear a minor track, A minor, yeah, usually it's a sadder song. So yeah, to like know that even at a scientific level, music is a healer. It does things. You know what I mean? And don't get me started on when you talk about the hertz of music, you know, like the frequencies. That's a whole nother thing. That's a whole nother world of science that I don't even know, but I know that there's enough research touching that, because energy is real. This yawn is just sneaking up on me like you wouldn't believe. But yeah, so the Mozart effect is real. I've been reading things and threw on some classical music, and for me it's a calming effect, healing. See, it's all here. Music is so beautiful. Like the therapeuticness of it, to know, like I've done some performances at nursing homes, and to see, going back to people lighting up, to see people light up when they hear a song is the most beautiful thing ever. And you know, to see someone who has dementia, or to see someone that has a brain condition, but then they sit down at the piano and that condition goes away for a second. Their memory, they're able to just sit there and play the song as if it was just yesterday. That we see that. You can't say that's not real. And it's good for, like a drum circle, right? The therapy in a drum circle. Have you been in a drum circle? The reason I started playing cajon was because of a drum circle. It was Floyd Fest. Taj Mahal, Grace Potter, and the Nocturnals were headlining. Who else was playing that? It was an amazing show. It was an amazing weekend. But there was a drum circle. It was during the day. It was so hot. I had my hair in braids. I remember it like it was yesterday. And I saw people playing the cajon, and I was like, what is this thing? Now, at the time, I was just a drummer and singer, and I never played the cajon before. And I saw that, and I was like, this is interesting. What is that? Scott Swimmer, I believe it was his name. I can't believe I just remembered that. I'm going to have to look him up and give him a thank you message. Changed my life. Yeah, he told me to get on the cajon, and I was like, sure. Started cajoning, and now it's something I do every day of my life. I just got another cajon as if I needed another one. But the therapy in that, to see like everyone pulsating together and playing together and coming up, is speaking to each other. I mean, if we want to talk about what music is and language, that's a whole nother podcast. But music and communication, like to convey emotion through music, is like, it's just like talking. Some people do it better, are able to communicate better through music than they are through speaking. Sometimes it just comes out easier through music. There's something so beautiful in that, because with that, you don't even, in going into the language thing, you don't even have to know the language. You could hear the emotion of a love song or of a happy song without even knowing what language is. And that in itself, there's a healing property to that. Like regulation of emotions. So like, if I know I got a feeling coming on, there's music that I'll put on that'll just quell me back down. If I'm feeling anxiety, or if I'm feeling sadness coming on, like for instance, whenever there's anniversaries, like my father's death or a birth, we'll just talk about from my personal experience. So my father's death, my father's birthday, there's certain music that I'll listen to that time of year that pulls me through it, helps me out, makes me feel better about it. Or if I want to really feel the pain of whatever it is that I'm trying to feel, you press play and you just lay on your bed and you just like fall into your bed and let that be therapy. It's good. Whether you cry or whatever you do, there's a good, that's like the purest therapy. The more I think about it, the more I'm mesmerized at like how prominent music as therapy should be. Thank you so much for tuning in to another Timber Talk Time podcast. That was episode 3, part 1, which means in 2 days, part 2 will be coming out. So if it comes out on Tuesday, part 2 will be out on Thursday. Thanks again. Spread the word. like and subscribe. Hit the ding notification so that you can find out when the latest podcasts are here. I'm going to be throwing shorts out there, not pants. Shorts, I mean YouTube shorts. You know what I'm talking about. Thank you guys for tuning in. Love you. Be safe, be kind, and I hope something great happens to you every day.